We're live? I think we're live. All right. Let's get everything set up as per usual. One day, not today, but one day, I'll have things set up before things actually start. Not today, but one day. Gotta do all my announcements on stream. Hey, Alec. What's going on, man? Don't you need to go to sleep soon or something? I feel like that's a thing. All right. Got to announce it here. Free members. We're live. Cool. And then what else? I'm always forgetting stuff I need to do. I think oh, that's right. I always put it on after hour, like middle of the stream. Not awkward at all. Who else? Oh, we got a bunch of people. Oh, it's just Alec talking repeatedly. Still packing. All right. That's cool. Hey, Foregunner. Good evening to you as well. And Daily Sight, I saw that, what was that, 6.5% today? Not bad, not bad. I'm impressed. All right, let me see if I can find my. What do I usually write here? I have to like find the right email and everything. See, live stream. Do I have a? Did I make an email for this? I know this doesn't make any sense to to anyone listening. Okay. No, I don't. That's fine. I'll just post a new one. Hey, Muffin made it. Oh yeah. Oh hi, Mister Hi. Oh no, you're saying hi. Draps is here. Awesome. YTP, 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 YTP made it. TJ Bell. Look at this. This is this, wait a second. Is this the last one before next year? No, we got one more. Wait a sec. Well, I guess it's not Christmas. It's the day after Christmas. Should I bother? I feel like that maybe I shouldn't do. Maybe that would be unnecessary. All right, I'm almost ready. I'm just posting something here if I can find it. Whatever. I'll just post it live. Week in. Well, how come when I try to swipe type when it matters, like under pressure, it doesn't swipe type right? Not on Christmas. No, it's a little bit late. Where are you going, Muff? Are you Red Rockets went through the space moon? Very nice. Where are you going for Christmas break? Oh, Draps, man, he got in on the Rocket Lab with Muffin. Nice. Well, why don't you just join from the hot tub? What's the problem? They changed the swipe algorithm. Maybe, honestly, it's possible. All right, let's see. I guess this is discuss. Discuss tag would be correct, right? You're going to a local hostel motel. The wife wants focus. You going to? Are you going Motel 8 or like Best Western? I would do Best Western personally. Motel 8, a little questionable. Am I drunk? I haven't even opened it yet. Look, ha ha ha. I will open it now though. Well, I mean, look. Obviously, you do the hostel because you want to live on the edge a little bit. You don't know if your stuff will get stolen. You don't know who's actually spooning you in the middle of the night. Could be your wife. Could be the guy from earlier. We don't know. These are the things that come out. What? I've actually never done a hostel, but I've watched Euro Trip, so I figure it's basically the same thing, right? Are you too young, Alec? Have you seen Euro Trip, or is that like? Oh, my shirt's coming off. That's not good. Maybe I have been drinking. I don't even know. All right, come join the fun. Oh, coffee job. Wow. Come join the fun. Live on stream on Satan. This is ass. This is what's coming out of the swipe type. Could be you. Who knows? Never even heard. You never heard of Eurotrip? Oh my gosh, dude. Awful. While we talk about CoreWeave, obviously. And Lunar. What else are we going to talk about tonight? We got to have some other fun stuff. You know, I don't think I've seen the movie Hostel. Hostel in Costa Rica was a little sketch. It sounds sketch for many reasons. Too old for Hostels. I mean, me too, but Muffin Man's a little younger, I think. You don't want to... No, we're not going to jinx anything. Although, dude, Rocket Lab is up almost 4% post. Are you kidding me? What? Also, Rocket Lab, apparently, which came out as Ticket Lab and Apartment. This is terrible. Let's see. Do I have an image that I can share? I'm going to share my CoreWeave position. There's a trick. I can't talk about it here. Well, that would be crossing the line. They had news like post after close. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, it just switched. That's less cool. I should have screenshot it. Apparently, it said, "Can you?" Well, let me see. I can't see it. I took off my webcam. Can you see? Not really. It said 1,000K portfolio. Exactly 1000. That was pretty cool. But it now says 1.0, and that is less cool. I don't think that's... This is so inaccurate, by the way. I don't know why they can't seem to figure out how to, like, get the syncing of the portfolios to be accurate. It doesn't do leaps. It doesn't do anything correctly at all. They got a big contract. Okay, who's in Rocket Lab uncovered? That's what I want to know. Not me, by the way. I thought about it. I kept saying I was going to get back in the 40s, but then I had zero cash to do so. So that didn't happen. It would have been nice if it did, but it didn't. All right, what is this channel called? Theta Daddies? Theta Daddies. Nice. Did that do it? That did it. All right, perfect. Save. It didn't do the discussion. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, everybody go like. Did everybody like the video already? You guys never like my stuff. It kills me. Although, you are talking to chat, so that's cool. Hey, Ann. Shares called away. What was the strike? Draps are uncovered? Ooh, that's juicy. You want to see what I'm uncovered on? The only thing that mattered today? CoreWeave X with my cost basis, which I secretly bought some more, by the way. So, did I edit this yet? No. 39.11. I bought another 100 today. Even while it was way up, I bought more because it's still below my cost basis. You only like my stuff? What a bro. Alec, you're always there for me. I got a complaint on one of the videos. Like, after the fact, somebody watched the stream. They're like, no more music. Why are you watching music? I'm like, I'm not watching it, first off. I'm listening to it. 65's pretty nice. I imagine your cost basis had to be below that. So let's call that a win for one. But it's up like $10 already since then. Oh, we just crossed over 8 o'clock, which means it's time to start. Welcome, everybody, to the show. I'm Rise, a.k.a. one of the co-founders of the Theta Daddies. I've been told that I'm supposed to brand somewhere in the video or the live stream like who I am. I guess I just always assume people know because most of you come from the Discord. But yeah, we're the Theta Daddies, and we sell options because selling options generates premium, income, etc. And we love to do that. We love to generate income. And it's been a really good day. I don't want to say week because it hasn't been a good week. We'll get to that in a minute. I actually, I was looking at my my list here, my dashboard, and the number is actually like it looked good today, and then I looked at how much it dropped from last month, and it's like I'm still like 70K down from last Friday. Like, okay, well, oh yeah, it was a real bad week, wasn't it? I guess we don't need to go too far in depth in that. It hurt to update, but I updated it this time for once. Theta what? Theta who? You spilled drinks on the white couch. Was it white drinks? Ideally, you drinking White Russians or just milk or water? Maybe best is water or seltzer. High noons don't stain. I don't think they're colored, right? I'm total. No, it's on the rim. Why am I even trying to dump this out? Mmm. Oh, it tastes so good when it touches your lips. Okay, so a little problem. I have one purple. Oy, that's not good. I only have one. So if we're having fun, I'm gonna break out the rum. Okay, we'll just say that now. You need coin advice tonight. Yes, sir. We will take a look at that. Look at my chart. So cute. Give me the middle finger. I love it. What happened here? Oh, everything broke. This happens sometimes. It's not the spreadsheet. It's literally Google. So we can't look at all that. That's unfortunate. I did update this today, so let's change this. Alec, don't say it. I don't want to hear it. Cash on hand is not fully up to date, but close enough. Actually, it is pretty close. I went shopping a little bit this week. Why is the rum gone? The rum's not gone. The rum's in the other room. You're welcome, Andrew. Oh, that's so nice. Somebody actually said thank you. I love it. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoy it. Did you have the latest and greatest dark version? I should probably post it again now that I'm thinking about it. It's been a while since I've updated that, but all good. Can we look at Shiny? What are these stocks that you guys are finding? Yes, we'll look at Shiny just because I'm curious what the hell it is. Is it related to Futurama? Bender? That's where my brain goes immediately when I hear Shiny. Nobody says Shiny ever. Gold. Is it gold? Well, that would make a lot of sense. That's amazing. All right. Well, then I will happily look at it. All right. So real quick, let's take a look at what we got going on here. Most importantly, premiums have been going up week over week. It's been a good week this week. Why is it all messed up, though? Is it my Zoom? No, it's because because it got all jacked up. That's okay. Yeah, we cleared 7K, so getting close, almost back to the 1% range, which is fine. Annualized is still looking pretty decent. All that good stuff. We did have that one disaster of selling deck and getting out of that and cutting that one loose. No regrets. Happy to do that one every day of the week. Well, not true. I don't want to ever do that again. In fact, I'm never going to buy deck again. But it was worth it to get out of it. I'm glad I did. And yeah, we can go into trades today. We don't need to yap all night long. We can talk about what actually happened here. Reddit is no longer found. Well, that's unfortunate. Yet it can find Galaxy. Why does this happen? I wonder if it's because the pricing just changed overnight. I bet that's it. It's probably not it. But let's just reorg here a little bit. CoreWeave finished at $83 on the dot. I didn't get my high noons from Bob, though. That's very disappointing. You know, it really seemed like there was a possibility for a minute. And if these candles didn't happen at all, and a couple more of these did, we would have got there. Just saying. It was very close. Coin flip. In fact, this was dilution led, so that's why we missed out there. Yeah, I did let go of that deck. Got it out of my hand. It was weighing me down. Oh, wow. Galaxy finished at 24. That's good because we had that scary head and shoulders. We can talk about that one, too. Let me go to, let's see. Let's do TA requests. And we wanted coin and shiny, apparently. Add symbol. shiny. Perfect. It's there. All right, now we'll go back to the regular watch list. We'll get back into that here in a bit. Does that show up? It does. Okay. I got my screen set to the right size for once. I guess I could maybe do this. Is that better? Slightly? Ever so slightly? So yeah, this is interesting to see. So many things ended on a wild green you know what. Hymns? Okay. Okay, we could look at hymns tonight. In fact, I want to look at hymns anyway because I keep meaning to sell cover calls on it, but didn't. AGQ? Is that like Autumn Games done quick? The speedrunning community? They have a stock now? Amazing. Yeah, any other requests to look into tonight? Just throw it in there. You bought hymns today? I like it. I thought about it. I've been thinking about it, and I haven't been able to bring myself to do it quite yet. But we'll go to the regular watch list for now. Silver, we can look at silver. Mention silver when we're looking at shiny. We do have silver down here. I'm not sure I've ever clicked on this chart ever, by the way. So congratulations, you got me to click on a new button. Where did Bitcoin end up? And it's like okay. I mean, it was green. That's good. But man, we need some positive catalyst and movement here. I'm still worried about this purple zone down below on Bitcoin. So, AGQ is silver. Got it. Okay, now it all makes sense. We don't want to click on the silver chart again. Marvell. Huma. Okay, we'll look at Huma. I got Huma. That one will probably break my heart to look at, but we'll still do it. Mostly because my leaps are deeply underwater. Hello, Nathan, by the way. Good to see you. Can I zoom in on chat? I'm so old. My eyes. There we go. Humans. It is a dookie, dude. It is big time. That's okay. Wow. I didn't know it got down to $1.11 today. That's yikes. You know, the problem with this is they're in reverse split territory, and that's just never a good thing. If they reverse split, I might just cut my losses on them and move on. That's usually, I think that's the kiss of death on these smaller companies. So, all right, let me go to, I'm bouncing around here too much. Let me go back to my list. Let's talk through some trades. We had some good trades. And I didn't even realize I bought the close and resold and then bought the close. A few of these more than I remembered. Let me organize here a little bit. We got Reddit. We got a bunch of Reddit. CoreWeave, we did once or twice. Blah, blah, blah. Done. Perfect. Yeah. So this was kind of a wild week, obviously. I mean, if we just look at pick a stock, it doesn't matter. Lunar or CoreWeave or any of these. We all kind of went through the same thing. Not a cup and handle, but deep red. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like pain, and then salvation. Or no, this was Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, salvation, we thought, and then resurrection. I'm sorry I'm probably offending people. Holy cow, Lunar hit 15. Wow. I didn't realize it hit 15. The AI stocks did the same. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Same deal. The drones, same deal. The rockets, we already talked about, same deal. I got a lot of the same stuff. Did you do it? Yeah, you kind of did the same thing. Galaxy did the same thing. This is all just rough. AI, everything, just terrible. Hurt everywhere. Bull, the only one that just didn't do anything today. Actually, when I checked them early, they were at 1.5%. So finishing at 3, not bad. Pattern, well, you guys don't know what pattern is anyway. Coin didn't really recover. Finished with Bitcoin, I think, a little bit. Just kind of flat. Well, no, Bitcoin wasn't flat. We just looked at that. Bitcoin was up for the day, right? Yeah. Well, I don't know what happened with coin. We'll look at that one more in depth in a bit. Nem was up, but even they had a rough few days here. Even Lily had a bad few days. Not bad, not like anyone else. PayPal is just below 60. Oh, that's, yep, they're dead. What did Amazon do? Even Amazon, wow. Meta, Meta actually had a good few days. Meta was one that was doing well. GME was doing surprisingly well throughout that. We went up. GME is literally inverse growth, apparently. And Reddit also grew through that whole week. And that kind of kept me sane, to be honest. And there was a lot of pain going on in the Discord. I felt terrible. And it's one of those things where it's like, literally just close your eyes for a couple of days. Don't look at your port. It'll be better if you just wait. And then we got out. We got out of the pain. The suffering, at least temporarily, is over. Which, by the way, does anyone know what Reddit ended at in post? I can look at my phone. I can't look. I don't know why it doesn't like freeze the latest. It's really annoying. We finished after hours at flat. Okay. This is important because I had 230Cs, as you see here. So cool. That was break even, oddly enough. All right. So yeah, let's go back to Oscar. So we started off, like I said, the week was awful. I had these CCs for Oscar for. Were they originally for this week? They must have been. Yeah, they must have been. So I was able to close those out at whatever that is, like 96% probably. We'll break out the calculator early. What's 2 divided by 40? Yeah, 95%. Cool. Let's make a note so I don't have to do that again. 95% profit, baby. Awesome. And then I sold it again on Wednesday, monthly. This is one of the topics that I think is super important to talk about. Now, some of you heard me talking about it earlier. Hey, Superman. LMND. Okay, we'll take a look. I'm sorry for distracting myself by reading chat. Monthlies are an interesting thing that I don't think a lot of people on the Discord have appreciation for, because since we started the Discord, the Theta Daddies, join if you haven't, we actually only have done weeklies. When we first started, maybe there were a couple monthlies still going on, but with how volatile things had gotten, we moved mostly to weeklies. And it was great. It's been great. But I find myself lately actually moving back to monthlies. And here's the interesting thing. Why? Well, Oscar is a great example, because Oscar, let's bring up the chart. Where you at, Oscar? You didn't have as good a day as everybody else, I know. It wasn't bad, per se. Where are you? I guess, oh, there it is. I could have sorted it by name. But look at this. How do you sell a CC while under cost basis and make money? 1%, in fact. We got Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So this is Monday. I guess I could have looked down here, whatever. And I bought to close that one CC that was deep out of the money, because it was a $20 call, which is way up here, right? Somewhere 20, whatever, close enough. And so it was worth nothing, 2 cents. Got out of that, cool. Yet somehow I must have sold it on the same day, or maybe like Wednesday, one of these couple of days here. I sold and made another 1% on the week. That's kind of crazy, right? Because I went out to the monthly. I sold on, well, I guess I did do it on Monday. Okay, so I sold on Monday, then this should be 12:15. What is wrong with me? And I closed it today. That's right. So we got to do the difference here. I sold the contract for 35 cents. I bought it back for 15. So net 20 cents. What was the strike? $20. So if you do the math real easily, 20, it's 1%. Okay. And it is a beautiful thing to be able to do that in a couple of days. But I would not have been able to do that safely on a weekly, because to get this type of premium, I would have had to go pretty far out. We could actually look at that. How far would I have had to go if I wanted to do the same thing? Where is options? Down here. More on options. Yes, I want to know more on options. Thank you. Let's look at December 26th, which is next week. So this is a weekly, a little different. To get 20 cents, I would have to have sold the 15.50, maybe to get 20 cents or 15 cents. But instead, I sold a 20C down here, but for January 16th. Now, obviously, that's not worth that anymore, hence me buying it back at 15 cents or whatever. But I was able to get the price because I went further out. And you could even do this again to probably February if I wanted to do the same thing. And we have to be careful around earnings and all that, right? But look at this. I could sell the February 20th for 60 cents, maybe 50 cents, whatever. Somewhere between that bid ask, which is at my cost basis, which sounds annoying and terrible and all that. But I can make 50% back on that, which is more than what I can sell the 15.50 at, which is much higher risk because at least this, I'm at my cost basis. So I don't care if it's assigned, even if it went all the way. And really, that would give me back another $5 a share in share appreciation from where we are today. So like off the current dollar value, that's really nice. But it didn't. It dropped. And I was able to buy it back and make as much or more than that much riskier 15.50 strike. And while 15.50 is what, 3.5% increase for the stock, like any individual stock can do that, as we saw today. 37% Lunar, 22% CoreWeave, 18% ONS, Rocket Lab, whatever. HIMS and Oscar have moved those huge percentages before. And even if you didn't want to let the shares go, we got a ton of space for activities, for rolling. And that is the beauty of the monthlies. And I'm finding myself going back to them, honestly. I think they're the way to go on average, a little less stressful. You don't think about it as much. You go, oh, look, hey, it's in the green. I could buy it back. And then you buy it back. And you're like, oh, I actually made 1 or 2%. That's cool. I think it's going to be the style I start moving back to. Okay, I'm going to catch up a little bit. Alec, I'm not missing trades on the sheet today, I swear. Or maybe I will be. I don't know. We'll see. You added to pattern today also? So did I. I bought 500 more shares. I had 12. And it closed at 11.91. I'm like, damn it. What software is this? Timo Therapy. First off, welcome. Second off, it's TradingView. And third off, if you're going to get it, we have a link below, affiliate link. If you get value in it and you're going to buy it anyway, cool. We use, on average, most people that are using TradingView are using the premium version. Where does it say? Here? Oh, it says up here. TradingView Premium. And they make it for all systems, well, all major systems of Mac, Windows, this is Windows, Unix, Linux, and on your phone, which is really convenient, actually. I use that on occasion as well. So check it out. Click our link. Thanks. You can't roll? You got a cash account. What does that even mean, Foregunner? What do you mean cash account? Like taxable brokerage? Hey, sorry. Welcome to you as well. Well, okay. If you can't roll, you can still buy to close early, though, can't you? I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing something here. So rolling, there may be, okay, maybe you can't use the rolling function, but rolling is just buying to close and selling a new option. Now, the thing that brokerages do is they wrap it up nicely so it looks like it's special functionality. It's not. It's the same thing. In fact, if you were to ask average advisor how he rolls, he never uses the built-in stuff. One, they charge a fee for that. So there's an argument for whether or not that you should use rolling at all. But again, they charge a fee. So if you just do it manually and you're tracking your own stuff, who cares? It's all good. Uh, okay, so the monthlies were great, and I did it on Oscar, and I also did it on Galaxy. So Oscar was great. We walked away like we made $1,100 on Oscar this week. Oscar is not a stock. Okay, 2,000 shares, but you know what I mean. At $20 cost basis, tell me how you're making $1,000 in a week on Oscar. I don't hear anything. It that's pretty good. I mean, that's pretty good. I'll just leave it at that. So then I did it again with Galaxy. Galaxy had a expiration on Friday. Was able to buy to close that. This is okay. So I guess in fairness, I sold these last week. So maybe that is one thing to keep in mind is you don't always close a monthly in the same week. So you may not always get a 1 week weekly return, but sometimes you do. And if you don't, you can still get better than 1% on a weekly or better than 50% annualized if you're buying to close early, especially if you're a little aggressive at times. So Galaxy, we were able to do the same thing. We did a $40 call, which didn't work out, obviously. And then I got greedy and did a $35 call for January 16th. Same deal. And we were able to close that one same day. Same day? No. This was same deal where I sold it earlier in the week, and I was able to close it for 55%. 55% on Friday in a week. So again, this was a very nice return of what is 52 minus 23? I can't do that type of math right now. Are you kidding me? Muffin Man can surely do it. 29 cents, which is, by the way, better than 1% on the money, on the value that it was, right? So, like, not a bad trade. And this was not below cost basis. Actually, it probably is. Probably at cost basis if you consider premiums taking down my cost basis over the last couple months. But, I mean, that's pretty good to be out at 40 and 35 while at 24. I mean, really, we were at 22, 23, right? What did we end yesterday at for Galaxy? Where is Galaxy? There it is. Yeah, I mean, so we were as high as 30 at one point. This was Friday. Maybe somewhere over here is where I sold that $40 one. And yet we were able to still make $500 more in this shit. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Also, while we're talking about Galaxy, Head and Shoulders, baby, not the shampoo. Although I'm sure that's good shampoo. That brand's been around forever. I've never personally used it, so I can't endorse it. If I did, I'd have an affiliate link below, but I don't. Hey, Justin, what's going on, man? So, Head and Shoulders, if you're not familiar, and this will be an after-hour post, probably. I'm thinking about making some YouTube shorts on this, too, just to explain some of this stuff, because I think it looks and sounds complicated, and maybe it is a little bit at times, especially when you, like, calculate targets and stuff. But real simply, Head and Shoulders is easy because it looks like what they say it does, whereas the charts don't always look that way to me. And Galaxy has, boom, look at that. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Perfect. Then, if you look, you connect the two low points, the clavicles. You connect the clavicles together to make a neckline like this. And that neckline is important because this is the important thing about patterns. They don't confirm until a breakdown or breakout of some sort happens. So, like, you can have this pattern, and frankly, it doesn't mean anything. It's a failed pattern right now. But if we're to break below this line, the neckline, and you could draw this, I don't know, maybe it's here, whatever. But if you break below this, then you're in free fall, which is particularly scary for Galaxy because look where we are. We're already below the 200 simple moving average. Now, if we go to the weekly, we're not, right? You probably have support here at 17, bleh, which is awful. But that's likely where it would be, something like here, where we would encounter the 100 SMA in the weekly and this prior level of support that we've tested off in past times. But we're looking at the daily because that's what the chart is. And chart patterns are fractal. That's how they describe it in the Fidelity document. And I'm totally stealing that. I think that is a great way to phrase it. They work on any time frame. Now, the way to think about this is, and Showcase asked this last chat, what does it mean if you see it on the minute versus the day versus the week versus the month? And I like to think of it as them having weight. And on the daily has a lot more weight than the 3-minute chart has. Like the 3-minute chart, if you have a head and shoulders, it means that it's probably broken down in the course of 10 minutes and it could be back in another 10 minutes. Like whatever, who cares? But when you get to the daily, there's all of a sudden some weight. And when you get to the weekly, it's even stronger, right? It's even more likely and persistent because of that, which this shows up on the weekly as well, by the way. So that is kind of a cause for concern. But we closed well above it. We closed well above the neckline. Now, ideally, we then have a couple of days strung together where we're not worried about it anymore. We could still break down. But that is the head and shoulders chart that I was worried about today. We circled this and talked about it earlier today before this green candle existed. And you can see why, right? Like that is the danger zone. But we're fine. We're fine. We could put like there's probably an emoji here somewhere that would work well. Yes. Yes, the weeb emoji. I don't know. What do you call this emoji anyway? It's got to be the weeb emoji. And we're good. No weebs. And no offense to weebs. I'm probably considered a weeb in some regards. So yeah, Galaxy was good. We're off topic. Let's get back on topic. And yeah, I liked the Galaxy play. How do I feel about Galaxy long term? Nobody's asking, but I'm asking myself. Generally nervous, but if you look far enough back, we still do kind of have, with the exception of this little blip here, we are making kind of higher highs and higher lows. But it's a little disappointing how low we went here and creating that. But because we didn't break down, I do expect, from here, it starts recovering back to where we want to see it. Maybe we get resistance at 30 again, which will coincide with the 100 SMA, the 50 SMA, and maybe we end up in this area. But I feel pretty good about it. Can I later discuss BTBT? That sounds like a Korean pop group. Wi-Fi relation. Yeah, sure. I don't know anything about it, but we can look at it. Bitcoin will come back. It'll be fine. Yeah, I think so too. I don't worry about Bitcoin at all personally. I look at it as noise, and you have to look at it on a longer time frame, like a monthly. Legit monthly. And when you look at the monthly, it's like, yeah, that's not great, but whatever. I don't know what this line is for. It's probably a wedge or something. I mean, it's fine. The trend line is good. It's like, yeah, we're still going in the right direction. But this is the problem with not only daily market, but overnight market, where it's still moving constantly. People just stare at it. And every second feels important, but it's not. Nobody cares. Look at the monthly. It's fine. We'll be fine. Yeah, so Galaxy does have some Bitcoin effects. However, not to the extent that everything else has, which we can look at this in the 4-window view. Here, we'll do this. Open anyway. I don't know why you asked me that. Why did I look at these? Oh, I don't know. There was a reason. Bitcoin, BTC. Which one? All right, let's do IBIT because I always click the wrong thing for Bitcoin. And then we'll do Galaxy. And then we'll do Coin. And then we'll do Hood. And you'll see that like some things correlate. So Bitcoin in the top left, aka IBIT. Oh no. Did I drop? We're back. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I froze it. Like OBS actually told me I froze, which is kind of cool. I didn't know it did that. And no drop frames though. So yeah, it had to be YouTube. All of YouTube must have gone down, but I'm good. Anyway, looking real close, you can see that there's a lot of times that we, like Coin very much follows closely with Bitcoin. Hood doesn't. It'll be impacted by Bitcoin. Look at this, right? This drop here. But then it does its own thing at times. And then Galaxy is, yeah, I can see it, especially over here. It's not day for day the same though, which is interesting. You know, sometimes it feels like it acts like a 2x ETF, and then other times it's like the market goes, "Oh yeah, that's right. They don't do Bitcoin. Why are they connected?" Because they don't, right? I mean, they do, but they're similar. They're similar for sure between the two, but it's not one for one. And I always find that interesting when things kind of track with it. But you could definitely see. Let's see if I can line it up. There we go. So green on Galaxy, red on Bitcoin. Green on Bitcoin, red on Galaxy. Now, of course, the candle started high. So, okay. We'll call them those. We'll call these the same. These are both good. These didn't match. So you can go candle by candle. Like these didn't match at all, but it did in that we started up because some of this probably happened overnight. So it's hard to connect it exactly. For sure, they're connected. I'm not going to argue that. I just find it interesting that there are days where they disconnect for whatever reason. And then over here, they were pretty well aligned, although this seemed to be more aligned with the general tech AI market drop than it did Bitcoin, as we saw on this green day as an example. Although, again, these candles actually kind of match. This is probably some overnight stuff that you're seeing there as well. So anyway, I think it's good to put these things side by side at times and check them out. So yeah, Galaxy, good. I thought it was a good week or a good finish to the week for it. We got a long way to go back to where we were. And hopefully this is the first of many steps back in the right direction. We did test off the 200 SMA, by the way. So, you know, now we're between support and resistance right here, which isn't like an official wedge or anything. All right, you're done. You're creeping me out. But in this little space, something has to give. What's it going to be? We're going to break out to the top side? I hope so. Or do we fall back through the bottom here, which would be sad because I own it. So that's my concern with Galaxy. All right, what else we got? That's enough on Galaxy for now. Reddit. Oh yeah, Reddit was good. Reddit was fun because I did a 240C that I bought the close in taxable, and then I resold that, and then it was in trouble at one point, so I rolled it out to 260. We can bring that up in the chart. Let's look at Reddit. There you are. And yeah, so I had a 240C, and look at this. Like, Thursday was insane for Reddit. Well, actually, Wednesday and Thursday were insane. And look, I love how there's red candles. It just keeps going up. But like, yeah, but we're going up, but we're red. the the Thursday candle. Well, okay. So first off, I sold the 230 here, and this has been a common area of, as you can see with the basketballs, support and or resistance, depending on the side of the line that you're on. And then once we got here to Wednesday, we blew through it, but then we back tested all the way back to the 80 MA. So I'm like, oh, maybe we're okay. And then Thursday, we rocketed. I think it was at one point like 8% or 9%. Maybe not that high. Pretty big day, though, for Reddit. And we went as high as 246. Insane. And I remember because I posted on the Reddit stock subreddit on Reddit that, hey, I got 230Cs. This is going to be fun to see what happens. Back when the stock was literally here at 230, it dropped to 229 for a moment and then just rocketed all day. And then people are like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, nothing probably. Which is true. I did nothing for the 230s because they're in an IRA. So I'm like, I don't care if they get called away. I'll buy them back probably on Monday, probably at 230. Maybe even I'll CSP back into them. And then so we ended that day after spiking all the way up to 246. We ended all the way down twice again. Am I back? It says I'm back. Dude, what the hell, YouTube? I'm going to start streaming on Twitch, which I could do. I have a Twitch account. I used to stream on Twitch. Definitely a rum night. All right, maybe. We're getting pretty deep in this one, so we are going to have to make a decision. We might have to roll out. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, the Reddit story ended at obviously flat, basically at 233, which was break even on this particular call. $3 at 230 is 233. Ding, 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 ding. Good enough. Kind of the dream. Getting called away at break even or better, we call that a win. Especially since, yeah, Reddit could gap up tomorrow or Monday. When I say tomorrow, I mean Monday. But let's be honest. Usually that's not what happens. I mean, big green candle, pretty far down the next day. There's very overlapping candles and wicks typically with Reddit. So it's highly likely I'll get a chance to get back in. And if it drops below 230, I could do a couple of things. I could do an in the money CSP. So like say we dropped to 225 or 220, say we tested all the way back down to here, 221. I could sell a 230C to make sure I get back in by Friday and make literally $12. What is that even at? Let's take a look. My kids are screaming upstairs. Obnoxious. Why are they screaming? So December 26th. If we look at the equivalent, so a 230C, if we drop to 220, right? Now let's just shift all that down. That would be basically the equivalent of a 240C. In the money, 240C, I could sell for $10. So if we find ourselves in the situation of back testing down into the low 220s, and I can sell at 230 CSP for $10 times 900 shares, hell yeah, I'm doing that. Are you kidding me? Especially if we end up finishing out of the money. That's just free cash to do it all over again. So that is the plan for next week. And one of the many reasons that I say always, do not fear assignment. Assignment's a good thing. Assignment can bring opportunity. And the beautiful thing about assignment is it gives you the maximum flexible position, which is cash. Sometimes you got to go for it. Is there not Keck on YouTube? So there's if you didn't know, there's a Better Twitch TV, BTTV. I think they have a YouTube plugin, Alec. So you could do that. People watching this like a day later are probably always like, "What the hell is he talking about?" Anyway, very happy with how the Reddit play played out. I don't regret rolling out the 260 because Two things. One, I rolled it out when we were at like 241, right around here, and we were getting close to my original 245, and it expired uh, next week. So the problem was that particular option, if it expired in the money and or got called away early, I'm hosed because that's taxable, and there's just no reason to have a taxable event today when we're this close to the end of the year. Like, I highly recommend people consider, if you're at the point of potentially having a taxable event in the end of December, unless you're tax loss harvesting, obviously. But if you're worried about a big taxable event, dude, just roll it out literally to the first week of January. And that money, if you get called away the first week of January, has all year to earn you more money in SGov or something, right? Like anything will be better than paying it for this year's taxes versus pushing it out a year. Always time value of money, push it out as far as you can. Getting called away on a lot of stuff and finally excited about it. Yes, you should be. This is the only time that I try to not get called away is this particular situation in taxable brokerages. Now, if everything's in taxable, then yeah, I mean, you gotta weigh the pros and cons of paying tax. And if you could roll it out and you think it's bullish, do it. But the difference is, if you were here and you could sell here, it could go all the way back down here, take your profit, pay the taxes, better than getting out down here and still, you'll make more money, obviously, paying taxes. When do I take Reddit versus RDTL? Well, I have both. So great question. Hold on. I have 1,000 shares of RDTL, and I have 1,300, 1,200 of regular Reddit. I feel a little regret on letting go of some of the Reddit shares when I had 2,000 of them back at like 100. I'm like, maybe this is too heavy. I'm like, that was stupid. I love Reddit. I should have just stayed with it. What am I looking for? RDTL, right there. So my cost basis on RDTL is up here, which I'm not actually that upset about. It's fine. I've had to wait for it for quite a while. And I just let it sit there, honestly, because I'm a long-term believer holder of Reddit. So like this is, as you can see, not only are we getting back to there, but I think it's inevitable that we get back to there with how profitable they are, etc. So, to answer your question, I like 2Xs for two things. One, swing trading. And unfortunately, with swing trading, they sometimes work out well and sometimes they don't. I got Connell bags right now as an example, and RDTL. Yet, at the same time, we made a ton on LilyX. We made a ton on Adobe G, Robin, CoreWeaveX, like all this stuff. So, although right now I'm actually below cost. Okay, depending on the time that I swing traded. So, there's swing trading, but then the other thing is when I cover Reddit or any of these, I don't sweat nearly as much when I have the 2X. So NBiz right now. Let's use NBiz as an example. Where's NBiz? Oh, top of the list. There we go. Nice, strong 15% day. I have covered calls, which I actually had 90s, and I ended up rolling it out today. Another one I rolled out to 120, 220. And this is above cost basis. But here's the thing. I don't care. If this goes up here, that's fine. Because I have 1,500 shares of NBIL, the 2X for NBiz. And if it goes above my 120, well, let's go back to here. 120 would put us at the top of this cup right here. So anything up beyond that is upside, okay? So I miss out on anything above here if we go above it, obviously. Well, that's where NBIL comes in. 1,500 shares. We go to the top of the cup. Well, guess what? It's $20. We're at 10 right now. That's already 100% gain. Now my cost basis is somewhere over here, maybe a little bit lower for N bill. And so like I'm below it right now, but I'm again same deal. I feel fine, feel totally confident in it. And if we get to $20, dude, that's a ton of upside. That's $8 a share times 1,500. That's $12,000. And oh, by the way, NBIZ went way up here and could go back there. I mean, there's no reason it doesn't go back to 140 in the future. I mean, there's many reasons why it might not. Let's be honest. But I think there's not necessarily a high probability, but it's definitely possible that we get back here in the next year. So I use the 2x to capture upside when capped by CCs and other things. And this way you don't sweat about the CC. Like the CC is the guaranteed money. And then the 2x is the free upside capture. You could also do this with a leap or literally just collar it with calls. But that's how I use it. All your 2x's are bags? Not anymore. Do you regret selling it, Alec? The RDTL? If you swing trade with a synthetic stock replacement and date it out 6 months or further, you can still sell calls on the long call. Are you Killistan? Dude is a synthetic stock freak. Maybe not freak, but he likes them. That's how you feel with ONS. You've got them CC'd for the volatility and longer calls if it runs. Yeah, good. Do you a lot of port percent for 2x swing plays? Yes. Like 2%, maybe 5%. I don't know. Something like, yeah, somewhere in the 2 to 5% range. I like swing trades, and I'm typically pretty good at them for whatever reason. So that's like, if you're not, don't. Like, just don't. Like, there's no reason to. But it's kind of, especially when you have long calls, for me, it keeps me kind of engaged, kind of active, which isn't necessarily a good thing. But for me, I with the stuff I'm following, there's points where I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, CoreWeave at 60, dude, I'm like, why didn't I full port that? I genuinely... I had the thought in the back of my head a couple of times. I just, no balls at all. And here we are. Could have made 50% on $1 million. Gonna incorporate them in the Tau bounce. 2x's or leaps? 2x's? I thought Tau bounce was mostly leaps or calls, long calls. Okay. I have to reread it. Do I have the book here? I got a stack of papers, but I don't have a book. Maybe it's upstairs. I'll have to reread that. I don't remember the exacts. Oh yeah, okay, calls and spreads. That makes sense. All right, so that was Reddit, and I guess we should talk about this also. This is my mass rolling of I rolled 240 to 245. That same day, we went all the way from 240 to 246. Damn it. Which was fine. But again, I needed to avoid the potential taxable event. So that got rolled out to here. Man, yeah, I cannot believe it spiked that much in a day, though. I say that, and then we look at how many things spiked up even more than that today. And now we're at 260. But here's the thing. You sum these up. You can see that, right? Yeah. 1119, dude. That's good. I kept getting net credits. Can't even be upset. Now, here's an interesting thing. So if you sum this up, 1119, divide it by 3 contracts, that means my break even, if I wanted to buy to close, I should say, if I wanted to buy to close, I'd have to buy to close for less than 373. Which is pretty low. Ideally, that doesn't happen because that would mean that Reddit dropped to oh, I don't know, probably back down here, probably back in like the 180s. So yeah, you gotta be careful when you do that. But we're in good shape because the taxable is fine. I don't want to sell those anyway until we get to $500, which we will. Mark my words. It may be in 25 years, but we'll get there. Inflation will get us there at the very least. And for the rest of them, well, they just got called away at 230. But boom. So if we do drop, I can get back in with those shares and feel pretty good about it. I'll cry about RDTL again, but only temporarily. All the high noons just taste so much better than rum. I will drink rum now. I will do it. What else? We didn't. We're like, I guess we are getting pretty far in it. Then we had CoreWeave. CoreWeave was great. I have I have 1,000 shares in one brokerage and 800 in another. I sold $90 C's for a buck 30, and then this happened. Summoning salt. Does anyone know what I'm talking about there? Probably not, because you're not all weebs. And then we hit. So I sold that like back here, somewhere back here. I think it was this day. Somewhere on this day I sold that. And then we hit 90. And I'm like, well, I got to wait another week for these sons of guns to get called away. But then no, I didn't, because we dropped $20. Way early on this one. What? Let me know when I'm back. Dude, I don't think it's me. Look. Look. Where does it say it? 0 drop frames. Look at that. 0. Is a oh, now you can see my chair. 0 drop frames. It's not me. I mean, maybe it's me. I don't think it is, though. And it doesn't matter, because the customer, it doesn't care. The customer is always right. I wonder if maybe YouTube's getting DDoSed by Anonymous. Are they still a thing? But anyway, that CC's fine. I've got 95C for January. And if that gets called away, I'm happy. I have 900 shares of CoreWeave X. So again, I'm capturing any upside that I'm missing. And the CoreWeave X cost basis equivalent is like $9, $87, something like that. I should check that. So we're at 83 and we're at 30. They have that weird split, reverse split. Cost basis is 39.11 and we're at 30. I don't know. I'd have to do the math. I don't want to do it right now. Basically, the top of this hump here would be my equivalent. So we can call it 90. Okay, yeah. So 90-ish gets me back to flat there. So if I get called away at 90, I'm capturing upside with CoreWeave X to infinity and beyond. Happy with that. You should be too. Maybe. Next up. All right, Alec, good seeing you, bro. Good luck with the drive tomorrow. Drive safe. Where are you going? Florida? Ugh. I'm kidding. But yeah, drive safe. Roads are icy around here, but you're down south, so probably fine for you. So CoreWeave is good. Good story there. We rolled. We talked about the roll. We didn't talk about the roll. Oh, this is the other roll that is worth talking about. This was really interesting. Florida, baby. Are you going to Disney? Disney is the worst, so hopefully not. I hate Disney. Most of you know that I hate Disney. Who's texting me? Is it one of you? Oh, cool. My son won the lacrosse tournament. I'm not a bad dad. I watched the first game, and I left early on the second game. I'm good. We're good. We're good there. It's more than I actually usually go. Hell no. Good. Hopefully you're going to Universal. Universal's cool. All right, so the other CoreWeave move is worth talking about. We had a 85C, which was getting close. So why would you roll out an 85C? Well, let me tell you something. Let me learn you something. 85C with CoreWeave expiring next week is of major risk of missing out on major gains for these shares that are not equivalent covered by CoreWeave X. And the reason for that is different accounts, whatever. These are just other shares. If you look at CoreWeave when it's run, look at this. Look at this. Look at that trend. Can we agree that that's pretty accurate-ish for the steepness of the growth? Well, if we do that again from here, all the way at the bottom, before the week ends, I couldn't get back in for better than potentially 110. And honestly, with the run that it had here, if you look, you would even move it higher to there, which would mean I wouldn't get in until 115. There's a lot of missed opportunity here that I don't want to miss out on. So I did roll this to forever, but at 140C, 320. Now, oh, no. Oh, no. That's what I was looking at doing. That's right. Okay. I'm telling the story wrong. My bad. This is what I was looking at doing. Instead, I was able to roll out to here. I have so many calls, I can't even keep track of it anymore. January 16th, which is actually way back here, the monthly. And now I have time to think, which I can still roll it out to here if I really wanted to. But this way, I'm not missing out on nearly as much upside. Like, this is $15 a share that I'd prefer to capture if I can. And there's a good potential that we go above here. But here's the thing. If you're rolling out, once you go in the money, it's harder to roll out effectively because then you start running into intrinsic value versus extrinsic value. And all that really means is the value of the option is worth at least, no matter what, it's worth whatever the stock value is minus your strike. So let's say that the stock price went to 90 and we had 85 Cs. Minimally, it's worth $5 a contract. And so to roll out and get a net credit and not have to pay a debit for that becomes impossible very quickly. So like if all of a sudden we were in the money at 95, forget it. You would not be able to find a contract that you could sell for $10 that wasn't out in middle of 2026. But with the 100C, by rolling it out before we got to 85, which we got damn close today, by the way. We peaked at 84 and change, 84.31. So I rolled it out when we were at 83.70-ish, which was kind of scary. Thankfully, we had a little bit of pullback for $0. I was able to roll out to this 100C for $0. 0.01 net debit, whatever. I think is what you pay because of the contract. And that was it. Now I have basically for free, I transformed this 85C to 100C. Further time, more theta, obviously. That's the downside. That's what you're giving up. But now I have time to do this again. Because if the stock continues to go like this, heading up this way, right? All of a sudden, in that increase, I have time to adjust. I don't have time once we get past 85C to move to 85C. That's just how it is. So all I did was try to buy time for myself, obviously, to be able to move this out if needed further, which, that would be a good problem too. But at that point, I might just let it go. We'll see. Now, my cost basis is up at like 130, so that wouldn't be great if I let it go. But I could do something else at that point. And that was the thought process behind that. But I think that is a important distinction to make in rolling, that at 85, or not, the number doesn't matter. As long as your strike is above the price, you have flexibility. The minute you're $1 above it, you lose so much so quickly, again, due to the intrinsic required minimum value of the option. That's what we wanted to avoid. That's what I wanted to avoid. And now I'm flexible again. It was a ninja move. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, he did good. He's long stick defense. Well, all defense is long stick, but lacrosse. So he did good. I was impressed. He's getting more aggressive out there, which is like what you want in lacrosse. All right. Any questions on that roll move? I put a lot of thought into that. And for anyone was reading along on the Discord when I was talking through it, it took me a minute to come to like what the conclusion was there. And I almost did this one. I had this window open. And I'm so glad I didn't. You got to remember that you have options. And this is kind of an interesting visual. If we just delete this for a moment, watching how this kind of expands out what your options are, literally. Pun maybe intended. Right, this extending of it's parabolic in how much theta is needed to continue to roll out at a net credit. This could have been a net credit too, by the way, at one point. Not anymore, but it was. So this is exactly what you need to be thinking about before it's too late. And we made it. Everything was good. Gucci even. How much credit would you get for the 140 in March? It was like $1 at the time. We can look, actually. Let's look. So to do that, what we would have to look at is, well, we would look at this. We would look at, now that it is for January 16th, we have to look at that. And it was 100C. So I could buy to close for 270. On that, okay? So we'll write down 270. Whoops, 2.7. Let's just leave it like that. And then we go out to March 20th. And the 140, I could sell to open at 330. Let's just call right in the middle there, right? So 3.3. 3.3 minus 2.7. Net credit of 60 cents times 10 contracts was times 100, $600. Right? So like, not bad. But here's the thing to consider. This is where things got, in my opinion, really interesting. Was I started looking back on CoreWeave and I said, how long, look at these spikes. It only has a couple. The stock's not that old. And look at this run up. How long did that run up last? Let's just say it started, I don't know, here. Middle of May. And you have middle of June, middle of July. We're already back at, we didn't even make it 3 months, but that's how long this contract is. So in 3 months, we would have gone maybe potentially above and then all the way back below. It's a little cyclical right now with how young and volatile it is. Okay, it happened again over here. We jumped up. How long did we sustain this? Well, this is early September, early October, 1 month. We didn't even make it. We made it to early November. And then we fell off hard. Again, we didn't even make 3 months. So you can see that I'm hesitant to watch this go up, possibly to 140, 150, whatever, and then drop down and I'm locked in. You can't buy to close it until you're here. And at that point, you're back below cost basis. You totally miss out. You miss out on all your opportunity. Whereas here, I may still end up in this situation. Maybe. I don't know if that's the direction I'll end up choosing. We'll have to see how it plays out. We got plenty of time. But we can choose along the journey here. We can make that decision. And that's kind of where I'm really going with this is it maintains flexibility without locking yourself in. Because if you haven't been in the situation before, I've been in it many times, unfortunately, in some cases, right? Where Archer, great example. I had 11 C's. 11 C's here. And we spiked up when for what felt like a long time, weeks. We went from 11 all the way up to 1450. I couldn't do anything. I could not do anything. I'd have to roll out till forever. But these didn't expire till November. What was it? 14th? No, it would have been November 21st. Look where we ended November 21st. At expiration, 683. But because I was in the CC, I was locked in up here. I could buy to close it, but you basically are taking a massive debit to do that. Now, we don't know that this is going to happen, obviously, but right around this point, I was able to buy to close for profit back when we were under in the nines. And then I wrote it down, and now we're kind of doing this weird, where do we end up next? And I have uncovered shares right now because it's just been in this disaster. So I'm not worried about Archer long term. I mean, you can see this giant channel we've been in forever, but you can also see how you can lock yourself in with long dated CCs that blow through and then drop out. And that sounds contradictory because I was just talking about monthlies. Here we are. Yeah, this can happen on monthly. This is probably the risk to consider. However, there's also, you assume some level of bullishness in these positions that you're taking. That's why I own the stock at all. It's like, I do think over time it's going to go up. Now, financial advice, forgot to mention that at the beginning. Here we are. But it didn't. And so now I'm just riding it out, waiting for a little while longer. Is kind of how it shakes out. But had I not covered down here, which is what I did, which is what caused all this headache, because it felt like a good spot right around here. This was you could see how often we're hovering in this area, right? And then we spiked like crazy. I don't even remember why. I couldn't even tell you. And at this point, like, I've thought about covering Archer, but because we're in a similar situation, I'm actually not. I'm just leaving it. We'll see what happens for a little while on Archer. Okay. Back to, I think we covered most of the major stuff. I had a real cheap Light Path that expired for $76. Yay. Bull. Okay, Bull. Let's talk Bull real quick. I did sell. I don't think I've ever done this before, and I may start doing this more often. But Bull had. It must have been Wednesday that I sold this. We had enough of a spike up that I was able to sell a 10C, which is below my cost basis, by the way, but felt pretty safe based on where we've been with Bull. Yeah, I think I sold it over here for, or even down here, for 3 cents. Well, turns out 3 cents a share times 12,000 shares is material enough. Times 0.03 is, actually it was 0.02. I got that. I typed it in wrong, apparently. Oh, I had to type it in wrong because anyway. $250, 240. Why not? Why not take $240 for what felt very low probability? And I know Justin did this one too, I think, right? Yeah, it was good. What are you guys talking about? Tesla partnership for who? What are we talking about? Archer? Or are you guys talking Rivian or something? But yeah, anyway, this is a fun little play of, if you've got a ton of shares or something and it doesn't seem worth it, this is the one time that pennies actually seemed worth it. I'm like, you know what? $20 is $20. I'll take it. Archer is? Partnership? Weird. Oh, I did hear that. That's right. Yeah. What was it? Yeah, did Tesla invest in them? Well, I'm happy for you, Justin, because 12,000 shares is too many. What's going on, Mech? I know that guy. Oh, and he hit the like button. Talk about a true bro. Welcome. Yeah, I don't know about the Archer Tesla though, because that petered out. Here's the problem with Archer. I'll tell you exactly the problem. They suck. They don't do shit. They have the same video playing over and over of like walking around an actual built drone. We've never seen it fly in like piloted mode. The CEO is happy to walk you through it and show you videos of like one test flight that they've ever had. When are they going to pilot it and actually show it in use? What are we waiting for here? I swear, the moment one of these companies, Joby, Archer, whoever, there's others, I don't remember the names of the others, there's others. Whenever they show a piloted going from this city to that city, all bets are off. That stock's taken off. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, it's just rumors. Exactly. That's the problem. Dude, it's the worst shell game with these guys because it looks cool. Let me see if I got the Archer. I'm not bringing this up in case I have things still on my aviation, on my history that you shouldn't see. Look, you just gotta be careful, okay? You never know. Let me get back to. There we go. Yeah, so like, looks cool. Midnight is landing soon. Dude, you've been saying that for years. Check out our factory where we're making it. I know. Anyone can, well, yeah, anyone can make it, honestly. And they have YouTube videos and stuff, but it's the same thing. This is the shot every freaking time. Show me something. Dude, this is AI. This is 3D generated crap. I don't care. This same video. Look, 4 years of flight testing. Then where are the videos? What are you waiting for? Drive me nuts. Look, we got Instagram. It's not flying. He's talking in front of it. Why is it not flying? All right, we don't need to look at my personal Instagram. So, yeah, I don't like it. I honestly, I'm getting angry. I might need to get out of it at some point. I actually like Joby. I'm starting to like Joby a little bit better. I'm liking Joby. They seem to be more factory build oriented, progress milestones that you can see. So, how did we even get on Archer? We're talking about both. All right, GME. This was silly. This was another monthly, and I bought the close it for 30%. $300. Yay. So yeah, good week. Wrapped up at 7,800. Call that a win. And only had one thing called away. Reddit. 230C for break even. Which again, we'll probably get back into those for cheaper than we sold it next week. Because it's Reddit. And that's what Reddit does. So overall, pretty good. All right. So now we got other stuff to look at. Y'all wanted to see some TA requests, and I know there were a few others put in BTBT. What was the other one? Somebody said BTBT and Winner or something. Winnie was it WYNI? No, WINY? No, Winnie. Well, remind me if you remember. We'll do that one last anyway. So, who asked about Shiny? I don't know if you're still here. It's been a minute since we started. Shiny is, you said gold. Oh, dude, it's gold 3x. Oh, that's insane. Let me go back to my watch list and let's look at regular gold for a second. So I know it should be the same, but 4,300. I'm just curious what the pricing is. We'll go to Shiny, best name ever. Oh, Wi-Fi. Thank you. Let me add Wi-Fi. You are still here. Awesome. Dude, Wi-Fi not found. I mean, my Wi-Fi is fine. What do you... Is it not publicly traded? Oh, I'm in funds. Why am I in funds? White fiber. Ha! That's a great name. Got it. We're good. We're good. We're here. We made it. Okay. So shiny is 3x gold. Insane. And we've gone from 69 nice to 139, 136 in what? September to December. What's the question here? Gold is a commodity, as you all know. I know you know that. It's bullish right now. The 3x shows bullish. I prefer to look at the underlying instead of a 3x. They're not much different, but this is what matters. Since, dude, this volume, I gotta turn that off. That's annoying. Um, this is what really matters. If it's based off of this, this is what you should be looking at. It's the same thing. The only time that changes is in a company like CoreWeave, when you're looking at the 2x, you could, in some cases, look at the fibs. The fibs are different on a leverage fund versus the underlying, usually, from what I've seen. And you can look at like NBIL. Let's see, NBIL touched the 382 fib. Did NBIZ touch the 382 fib? No, it touched a different fib. It touched the point 0.5. But sometimes they don't line up, and it's fishy. It's like the manipulation. The market movers are trying to move in favor of the 2x versus the underlying. That's less of a concern for something like gold, big market, big commodity. So you don't need to think that way, which is why I would just look at gold versus shiny. Now you could look at the fibs. The fibs are totally useful for gold and all that. And you can see we are bouncing off the 1.0 fib pretty consistently here. You also, on these big commodities, you're better off zooming out. So on the weekly, look at that. Oh, my beautiful rainbow. That is so nice. Very super bullish on the weekly, but pretty extended from the ADMA. I would guess we'll do another one of these soon. We don't have to look at the run that gold went on here before backtesting a few times on the ADMA. I would think we're going to backtest though again in the not too distant future. I would guess at some point we could even test off the 21 again, but more likely we're just concerned, quote unquote, concerned about testing off the ADMA. There is nothing actually concerning here. However, this is making me go, oh my God, I got a full port Costco. Not even kidding. Which, if you didn't know, Costco makes most of their money these days off of selling gold. That's like an absurd amount of revenue. We're on their weekly, by the way. And we dropped below the support level this week, which I've been keeping an eye on. I'm deeply considering like a six-figure position if we break 800. But now that I'm thinking about the gold situation, with gold doing what it's doing, we have time. I think we have until the next earnings to get back in. But man, you just made me unintentionally more bullish about Costco than I thought I would be. Crazy. I love it. So yeah, I look at gold and I go, yeah, it's gold. Look at it go. It's gonna keep going forever, most likely. I don't see any major pullback anytime soon. It does look scary when you zoom in like this. It always does. You have to look at this in like log form, which I don't remember how to do that off the top of my head. Is it candles? No, it's probably like settings. Let's see. Scales. Does anyone remember? Or just know? Maybe not remember, just know. Canvas? Ooh, I could change the background. Ooh, oh my God, this is amazing. I had no idea. That's staying forever. Is the volume on cost today insane, like 2x normal? Let me take a look. Hold on a sec. Trading. Alerts, no. Symbol, no. Well, whatever. Looking at log can help. We love log. Or was it lamp? I think that's enough on gold, though. Hit that pretty good. Let's go back to Costco. What was the question on Costco? Volume. On the daily? I turned volume off earlier. Why did I? Oh, because of the gold volume. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's insane, dude. Why? Why was it so insane? I don't know. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on with the whole suing the government thing, right? So that's a thing. Could that be the main driver? Maybe. Analysts downplay worries over Costco's renewal rates, noting strong growth, blah, blah, blah. Price target set at $11.75. Oh my God. That's very far away from $8.50. Adjusted its holiday lineup. Nobody cares. Costco renewal rate. Nobody cares. Renewal rate. I don't know, man. I'm not sure what drove that. That is very high volume, though. What is it? What did we end at? 10 million versus 2 on average? Yeah, that's insane. We haven't had a spike like that since ever. Since March of 2024. Wow. Wow. That's cool. Very nice. Yeah, I'm very interested. And volume picking up is also a sign, right, that we want to look for interest, people in the area rotating. What's the question? Yeah, log view on the scale. Maybe. Oh, duh! You right click on the scale. Why didn't you tell me that sooner? What were we looking at? Gold. Yeah, so when you look at gold and you switch, let's turn volume back off. You look at log. That didn't help at all, did it? No, it did. It did. See, it smooths out that insane looking spike at the end. So just another way to consider looking at it to not panic as much when you're like, all-time highs, everything's going to crash. Not really. Go back to regular. And then we go back to regular and you scroll out. Here, maybe I should do it this way. So like when you scroll out, you switch to log. That didn't really change much, did it? Maybe I'm full of shit. I'm probably full of shit. Yeah, I thought it would make a bigger difference than it did. Anyway, gold's bullish. It's going to be for a while here, I think. The more uncertainty in the air, the more gold is where you want to be. And there's a lot of uncertainty between rate cuts and all that other crap. Now, silver was in the list too. I mean, silver's just mini gold, right? Like, very similar chart, if you ask me. I see the same thing. Go back to the weekly here, though. We're very overextended for sure. So we might see pullback sooner on silver than what we've been seeing on gold. Why is it this far? I don't really know. That's pretty insane, actually. I mean, silver is usually a lot less exciting than gold. And here we are. That's a pretty wild change, actually. I wouldn't touch it. I have like just a personal rule of if things are looking like this, all-time highs, I don't generally get involved until there's a pullback, if it's something I want to get involved in at all. Dang, even leverage cost. Yeah, dude. What is the leverage cost? Is there only one? Is it Costco X? Cost X? Or is it Cost X? Nope. Cost. What is the 2x? I wish there was an easier way. You got to Google it usually, which I don't want to do. Can you just type Costco 2x? No. Oh, probably under ETFs though, right? Funds. Cozy. That must be one. Yeah. I don't see it though. Cot G. What a weird name. Why would they go with that? I mean, it's going to look the same, obviously. Cot G's $11. What are you talking about? There must be another one. Yeah, I was doing that though. I didn't see it. Cost in the funds. Well, I only want USA. It is no, it's not. Oh, there we go. Cot G and Cost W. No. Which one were you looking at? You said 160. Cot G's $11. That's pretty cheap. In fact, you're making me wonder if I should buy Cost G all of a sudden. Cot G. Well, if you think of the other one, let me know. I'll take a look at that too. This one's pretty new. It only came out in September. Yeah. All right. What was the other TA requests? We didn't. We got literally past the first one. Coin. We'll look at coin. Coin. Okay, coin is Bitcoin. It's the same thing. Again, Pam. They're the same image for sure. We brought this one up just a little bit ago. I'm not sure we need to cover this again, actually. If you're asking me what I think about it, you're asking what I think about the underlying, which in this case is going to be Costco. I feel like the new 2X always drops so much. I mean, not always. There's definitely been some. There, it's relative. It's whatever the underlying is doing. Um, Bitcoin. We looked at Bitcoin already, though. I guess I can look at it again real quick. I don't worry about this. Got to look on the monthly. Yeah, we talked about this. The coin chart is just too similar. Very similar to what we see on Bitcoin. And because of that, there's not a whole lot to do, right? You can't get strategic on coin as a company because it is beholden to Bitcoin. It's just how it is. And so, like, I look at this and I'm like, yeah, sometimes you can do some fancy stuff with it. We did the cup and handle thing, that worked. But otherwise, you might as well just wait and look at what's going on in Bitcoin until a time where the two disconnect from each other again, which could happen in the future. But right now, it's really tied to Bitcoin. All good, Superman. Didn't Coin add stock trading? Yes. They added a bunch of stuff. What was the other thing it added? Yeah, stock trading feature on Thursday. But here's the thing, like, they're going to need usage numbers for that to get exciting. And that's not where people go for stock trading right now. It also has implications to the Bitcoin market if you're taking money out, which maybe not, but it's easier to take money out. So it does make it a little less, I don't know, a little less volume potentially or buying pressure for Bitcoin, which is a little bit of an issue. Prediction markets, yeah. Again, all this stuff, I don't think until the next earnings, any of that matters. It's like, okay, great. Tell me what it's doing for you. How are you making money off it? Obviously, it's going to end up being fees on selling options and buying options. Partner with Kalshi. It's an annoying name to say, huh? Why is there an L in the middle of the word? Then we had HIMS, which oddly looks kind of similar in chart to coin for some reason. Bitcoin in HIMS? No, I don't think so. I don't like the HIMS chart at all right now. That was just a mega slide. Since, slide into earnings and then continue to slide down to this yuck level. We got a gap to 30. I am worried about the gap. I have HIMS, by the way. If we hit the gap, I'm probably doubling down on it. I have a cost basis on HIMS of 52. It's way up here. So, like, I'm just holding and waiting. Do I think HIMS will recover back to this top? Yeah. But at the same time, I'm mildly annoyed at myself for having seen this triple top and not, like, selling and still kind of playing around with it. This is clear triple top, quad top even, if you want to count that twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tops. Like, this is just mega resistance for whatever reason. I don't think anyone expected them to drop to 30 though from 65. Like that's just kind of absurd. And now we're back to undervalued. And the thing is, Hims is like a marketing company more than anything. So they will just spend money on ads. Really what they should be doing right now is buying back stock. That's what I would be requesting. Um, but generally, I still feel fine about the stock. I think there's a lot of potential for um, cup and handle potentially. I don't know if we will, but there's definitely you could envision that being a thing that happens here for sure, right? Lip to some lip over here, and down we go. Ideally, more like that, which would get us back up here at the end of January. They were affected by the ACA stuff, as many others were. But I don't know. It's clearly bearish. We had the reverse um, golden cross, which was unfortunate. But maybe we're making a turn. I'm not sure we are. This is too short of a time period. We just got another bite indicator, which is not what we want to see. So that's kind of scary momentum wise. We could be retesting this fib. We could be retesting down to the bottom of the gap. But I think this is just where you have patience. Wait for confirmation of a trend. Like even this was fine, but also not super surprising that it was a dead cat bounce, right? So, but at least give yourself a couple of green candles in a row before you start going, we're back. One day at 3% or 2%, whatever it was, is not a good sign yet. We need more, and we need to look at the weekly here. We need some green weekly candles, all right? And we did bounce off the fib here. We closed just under it, whatever, close enough. So there is, again, there's some potential support going on here. I worry about the 100 SMA coming to meet us, where we may wedge. We could very well wedge. There's a lot of things that could happen here looking at the chart. So I don't get too excited in either direction. It's just like freeze and wait. If we drop down to here, yeah, I'll probably double my position and lower my cost basis dramatically in the process at a very low cost for a company that I think long term will be fine. Lilly's a better company though. Bye, Lilly. And then we have Huma, which, my gosh, dude, Young Ember is just on after hour. He's full on hooked up to the copium machine with, I think he's got 100,000 shares or 300,000 shares, was it? Something absurd. I got 10 leaps or whatever, so we're good. But I bought the leaps here, so they suck right now. They're in the dumps. But they're also for January 2027. So we got time. We need some real positive catalysts here that break this forever trend of going down, which is all it's experienced. And I thought we had a cup and handle opportunity at one point. No. We're in no man's land, and we're in dangerous territory of a reverse split, kiss of death. If it reverse splits, I'm probably out. But I mean, I got to look at the option value. If it's low enough, maybe I'll just let it go and see it out, see it through. But probably down 50% on those leaps right now. Hey, Kodu, welcome. Dude, beautiful day. Beautiful day. We talked shiny already. Oh, what happened? I got all like, oh no, I'm disorganized. AGQ, we talked about silver already. We don't need to hit that one again. All right, then it was BTBT as it pertains to Wi-Fi. So what is Wi-Fi? Is white fiber. Let's look. I don't know anything about this company, by the way. So like we got to start from zero here. AI and HPC infrastructure and cloud and data center solutions. Another one, man. When are these going to stop coming out of the woodwork? News. Working with N-Scale. Well, that's good. Buy, fall. Not a ton of news, honestly. Yesterday, master co-location with N-Scale. Everything's the same news. Okay. And let's see how many employees do they have. Do they not list it here? I always like looking at the number of employees because, like the quantum companies, the number of employees is like 5, and yet they're worth $10 billion. Like, I don't know if I should buy into this. Okay, I don't see the employee count. That's kind of interesting. Maybe it's at the bottom. Oh, it's not listed. Uh-oh. Not gonna touch it. And BTBT was your other one. Gonna close this. Bit Digital. Oh, that's right. Let's look at the chart for Bit Digital. What's their market cap? Are they a penny stock? Yeah. Well, not quite, but under $1 billion. So very small cap. Oh gosh, they haven't done anything in a while, huh? There was a time someone got excited about them, but here's the thing: volume is picking up again, a lot, like 2x on average. But we have a double top going on here, which is kind of bad. It's not a good thing. We're under the fibs, which I don't like. We're under all the EMAs and SMAs, which I don't like. Probably also connected to Bitcoin a bit here, which I don't like. So they're not in control of their own destiny. I wouldn't touch it, dude. Why didn't it move like Wi-Fi? Since BTBT has a majority stake in Wi-Fi. Because BTBT is Bitcoin. Literally what they were known for early on, wasn't it? They say commercial services. I thought weren't they a Bitcoin mining, or am I thinking of someone else? Digital asset mining, cloud services, co-location services, and ETH staking. So the problem is they're primarily connected to Bitcoin. And even if they own a big stake in Wi-Fi, what is Wi-Fi's market cap? 640. How big is their stake? I don't know. Does it say it on the Bitcoin or the Bit Digital chart? Let's go to news for them. So, like, we just talked about it with Coin, right? Coin says, well, look, now we offer stock trading. Doesn't matter, you're Bitcoin. Sorry, bro. That's how they see it. Hey, look, BTBT has 50 employees. Revenue per employee, $2 million. Okay, you see the problem here? This is why I don't touch these companies, dude. This is why. I'm sorry. I know I'm shitting on your baby. I apologize calling your baby ugly. Not shitting on your baby, calling your baby ugly. Oh, that's forever on the internet. Yeah, it's just terrible because things like this, I lose instant credibility when I see that. How can you not? White Fiber secures 8 million data center deal. Board changes. Selling shares. CFO Huang sold. Maintain. All right. If you let me know. No, dude, it's all good. 70% stake. So I look at that as this is an effort for them to disconnect from Bitcoin. Number one, change your name. Get Bit out of your name. Number two, they're going to take more time, I think, to really have to get disconnected from it. You know, the mindset, the news isn't big, number one. So, like, I don't think anyone's really paying attention to it. And they're just going to continue to connect Bit Digital with Bitcoin. Not all these analysts are that smart. Like, look at their hit rates. Half of them are less than 50%, or even worse. It's probably like 70% are under 50% being correct. So that's my thought on it. I personally, I don't like quantum. I've been burned on quantum too, but I don't like it generally for many reasons. I actually agree with Martin Shkreli a bit on his quantum. If you haven't read it, he made a Reddit post on his quantum bear case. I'm not buying puts on him, but I kind of see what he's talking about. And when you listen to Jensen talk, dude, like people need to. People gave Jensen a lot of credit when he said, "Dude, quantum's 20 years away at best, and solves a single problem." What are we doing here? And nobody has a working model or even close to it. There's 7 different ways to do quantum, maybe more. So what are we hoping to accomplish with it? And how are we going to get there? I look at that and I don't want anything to do with that. And Bitcoin, bit miners, I don't like them because it's it's not really like you're mining something. I don't like it conceptually to begin with. Let me start with that. It doesn't matter if I like it or not from that standpoint. But I don't like that they don't like they're just spending electricity and hardware time to mine Bitcoin and become a treasury. And I don't like treasuries because treasuries just buy Bitcoin. So what are you buying in the company? I don't know. I just literally just buy Bitcoin. I think that's a big reason why all these miners are dropping. The miners are dropping. What's the other one? Mara. They're also trying to branch out again. Like that looks like shit. And then and they all have the same spike up here too. When people got excited about them. Then we have treasuries, Metaplanet, which actually saw a little bit of green for once, which is comical. Terrible. There's other treasuries too, right? What are the other treasuries? Well, there's strategy, obviously, which is don't mind my MSTR goes to zero line. It's not getting much better there. I don't know, dude. I stay away from treasuries. I stay away from miners. If you want Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, or IBIT. Buy something that's just a Bitcoin trust, ETF fund, more accessible. Biminer, Biminer. Yeah, dude, they all suck, man. Why do they all suck? Because they do. Literally, that's like it doesn't. They all doing the same thing. Just buy Bitcoin or IBIT or whatever. CLSK. Sure, hardware prices have spiked too due to demand reducing margins. That's probably true. And there's also, I mean, there's replacements and all that you've got to do. CLSK. What is that? CleanSpark. CleanSpark? Oh, they're mining? Data processing services. Is that what they call themselves? We're not miners. Totally not miners. Oh, they actually might not be miners. Or did you just want to look at CLSK, Justin? Or are you calling them miners? Are you guys talking about steak? Awesome. I just caught that, Kodu. Very nice. I like it. Solid dad joke. All right. Anything else you want to look at? Anything else? Not to change the subjects. Sina. Yeah, is that Synapse? What is that? Synaptics. I was close. Synaptics. What's the weekly? That is a wild ride, huh? My thoughts. Well, since April, higher high, higher low, 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 bullish. Generally bullish. Got a ways to go before we overtake either the 100 or the 200 SMA on the weekly. Probably already there on the daily. Let's look at the daily. Yeah. I mean, let's turn off the fibs here. Generally good. Generally a bullish stack. Golden crossed on December 5th, maybe the 4th, whatever. It looks good, dude. I don't know enough about them. Are they the robotics company? Development of yeah, human interface semiconductor solutions. That's cool. Interact with mobile communications. Nice. That is a terrible name. Holy cow. Federico Fagan. I'm sorry, dude. I don't like looking at the chart. I don't see any clear patterns to that stand out other than clear support here at 60-ish and generally uptrend. General good trend since April. Let's ignore the that part of April and just start in May. And I mean, yeah, you got a pretty good trend. It's okay to backtest along the way a little bit. I don't know what the news is. I don't know what the earnings show green. Are they green on both? They are. Slight beat, slight beat. That counts. Slight beat, still counts, still good. Selling shares, who cares? Selling shares, overweight. I don't know. There's no clear news that I see at a glance anyway. We can look at this as well. Do they have more than 10 employees? Hopefully. Um, Sim is the other one. Oh, you thought they were minors. All good. All good, man. All right. Then we should go to Sim is the robot company. A robot company. Yeah, I think. Automation. Yeah, I mean, a little rough with everybody else here. That follows tech and AI, though. So, honestly, not that concerning. Let's look at the weekly. The weekly is probably beautiful. Well, not beautiful. Those are some big bars, dude. Probably get some good premiums on them. If you like them, we did just Golden Cross on the weekly. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, Sim's not bad. I know, yeah, Coda, you've talked about this one before, actually. I know you have. Look at that mega buy candle. Holy cow. 55 to 84. I guess it's not as impressive, but it is compared to itself. Relative to CoreWeave, that's just a regular Tuesday or Friday in this case. Oh, that's right. I do remember hearing about the Walmart deal. Is that here? Selling shares, selling shares, selling shares. All right. Cool. All right, gents and gentets, like ladies, I suppose. Thanks for joining today. Um, Ons is always busy on After Hour, dude. That is probably After Hour's most popular stock. And it had a good day today. 18% is nothing to sneeze at. They're very much. I do have CCs out here on this one. I can just change that to be 12C. Does that go to March? 320 maybe? What is that? Yeah. Oh, 16. Yeah. I do have some odds. Why did that not up? Oh, there we go. So, and then we have AA's target way up in 100 land. That was a mistake. He didn't mean, it was a typo, but I leave it there for posterity. But yeah, ONS is fine. ONS is good. Going bullish again, restacking properly. I like to see it. Nothing scary here. We're fully bullish stacked again. Not cleanly, but in the last, we ended the week that way at least. We got sky's the limit for ONS. Palantir, baby Palantir, I like to call him. If only I kept them here at 185. That would have been nice. But instead, I made a couple $1,000 and I was like, yes! It was good enough. It's going to happen. I am in them now, though, so we got that. All right, well, thanks for joining in. Love having you all go through this with me every time. It's fun. I hope you had fun. I had fun. And the guy that complained about music, well, there's no music now. You're welcome. Although I'm probably putting music again in the future because it's nice for a little background for me. Have a good holiday. Well, it's not the holiday. Next week's the holiday. I probably won't stream next Friday. I'll probably do something else. The Discord is going to have our party, though, our day drinking party on Monday. That's going to be a good time. For those of you who are there, which is a bunch of you, looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully you're joining. I saw people taking off and stuff. I'm like, oh, I got to take this more seriously. I got to plan stuff. I had a plan, but then I stopped thinking about it. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's like 4 days away. So we'll get that all set up. It'll be fun for sure. There'll be a plethora of high noons on my table by the end of it again. I'm not sure I'll do 6 or 7 again. That was a lot. I did not mean to make a 6-7 joke, by the way. But yeah, we'll definitely have quite a few drinks. And if you're not on the Discord, check us out. we would love to have you. Stop by, say hi. And I think that's all I got for you. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe and all that, even though I think a lot of you already are. We'll see you, if not next week. Well, I'll see a bunch of you on Monday. For those of you I don't see, have a good holiday. For those of you who celebrate Christmas, for those of you who may celebrate Hanukkah, which I think we're in the middle of it right now. I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry. Insensitive, I know. But enjoy your Hanukkah. And whatever else you celebrate, enjoy that too. We're all about inclusivity here. I don't care. We just care about green, right? So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for joining. Good night. I always